Hello and thanks for joining us again this week. 20 years ago this month, Montgomery County was the starting point for a horrifying string of shootings by two men who became known as the DC Snipers. 10 people were killed. 7 of these homicides were in Montgomery County, including one of our ride-on bus operators. The entire DMV was gripped by fear, a feeling that many of us can still remember 2 decades later. The Victims' Rights Foundation stepped in to help those who had been shot and their families. Around $500,000 was donated from and around the globe to help the families. The Victims' Rights Foundation lent a voice to those heartbroken families, and they led prayer vigils during those 3 weeks of terror. Volunteers from the group spent time in court for 2 separate trials, offering support and updating family members who couldn't attend the criminal proceedings. The Victims' Rights Foundation, which is headquartered in Germantown, will host a luncheon later this month to honor the 26th year of service and pay tribute to the sniper victims and their families. I want to thank the Victims' Rights Foundation and its founder, Greg Wims, for their tireless dedication to our county and those in need of help after unthinkable tragedies. Ever since I was on the Tacoma Park City Council, I helped work on legislation and policy ideas that would help keep our constituents able to live healthier lives. I've continued to work with leadership in the state on one of the most important accomplishments of the last 4 years, which was helping to create the Prescription Drug Affordability Board. The Prescription Drug Affordability Board is an independent unit of state government tasked with protecting Marylanders and the Maryland healthcare system from the high cost of prescription drug products. This board is the first of a kind in its nation and a model for other states to replicate. This week, the Maryland Healthcare for All Coalition and AARP Maryland hosted a community forum at the Riderwood Retirement Community to update the public on their work and gather more feedback about the challenges people face because of the high cost of drugs. We were joined by nearly 100 residents of Riderwood who cared intensely about this issue and asked important questions. It's hard to find anyone who has not been impacted by outrageous price increases for prescription medicine. 27% of adolescents aged 12 to 19 years old reportedly use prescription drugs. That number has increased to 47% of adults aged 20 to 59 years old, and over 85% for adults 60 years and up. The tragedy is, the less money you make, the more likely you are to cut your pills in half or skip days of your medication. That's the corner that high drug prices have painted us into. How do we get out of it? How do we create a system that works for everyone, so that no one has to make the kind of tough choices where we're choosing whether to spend money on medicine or on food or on rent? We believe relief will come once we, as the state, are able to negotiate with drug companies on prices. One key aspect of the Inflation Reduction Act focuses on drug prices. The law grants Medicare the authority, finally, to negotiate with drug companies for the first time in our history. Not only will this make prescription drugs more affordable for all Americans on Medicare, but this will also provide our state's Prescription Drug Affordability Board with a blueprint for determining appropriate upper payment levels to make high-cost drugs more affordable. Nothing can be better for all of us who use and rely on the healthcare system than seeing the federal government lead the way in changing the status quo. For us to make progress and continue to reduce the cost of prescription drugs in healthcare, we need your help. If you or someone you know has struggled to pay for your healthcare and prescription drugs, please share your story and find resources and assistance at the healthcareforall.com website. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and on Tuesday I stood with the County Council and other public safety leaders in recognizing the alarming number of domestic violence cases across Montgomery County that continue to be a concern. Our entire county government is committed to reducing domestic violence. Professionals from the courtroom to counseling offices take their jobs seriously and are always looking for ways to help victims and encourage prevention. This month, please take the time to read through some of the 65 Walking in Their Shoes displays at libraries, recreation centers, and other public places around Montgomery County. They share personal stories about the impact of domestic violence and what it does to the lives of victims and of the families of victims. I applaud these survivors who are willing to share their pain to help educate others. Other campaigns like Choose Respect target teenagers. A recent teen forum in Wheaton was attended by nearly 1,000 participants who learned about the importance of demanding respect from your partner when you're in a relationship. These are also many programs and free resources that are available from the Family Justice Center in Rockville. The Family Justice Center can provide domestic violence victims with resources and support to leave an abusive relationship, including putting victims in touch with lawyers and professionals who can help file protective orders. The Family Justice Center is open Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. and walk-ins are welcome. Crisis services for victims of domestic violence are available 24/7 through our Crisis Center. Our Crisis Center phone number is 240-777-4000. That's 240-777-4000. These are the types of efforts that are going to make a difference, but we need the vigilance of all residents to look out after themselves and their loved ones and their friends. We must stop the silence on domestic violence. This week, we're honoring many of our Montgomery County employees who provide customer service to our residents, businesses, and visitors during our National Customer Service Week. If you've been following along on the county social media, we've been thanking the MC.Dot arborists who handle tree cutting requests, call takers at Montgomery County 311, employees of the procurement and permitting departments, and many others. I've also issued a proclamation in recognition of them and the work they do. There's not a day that goes by that we don't appreciate the hard work done by our employees on behalf of the county residents. They are the people who you interact with when there are safety concerns, you're in need of a permitting request, or signing your children up for basketball leagues. Our Montgomery County Innovation Team has been working with our employees to iron out inefficiencies and reduce the red tape that can slow down our responses to your requests. Our Business Intelligence Dashboard is a welcome addition so that every department can easily reconcile their payment systems. Businesses have benefited from our new online application process that allows owners to easily handle their telephone excise taxes. We've also updated our central vendor registration system, which allows us to translate content in several different languages. We hope that you take the opportunity this week to thank a county employee who helped you during Customer Service Week. As we begin to see the rainy, cooler weather that's just around the corner, it's another reminder that it's a good time to get your flu shot. We're seeing fewer COVID-19 cases for now, with both case rates and hospitalization numbers putting our community level status in the low category. I do fear that with fewer cases and less of a nationwide focus on COVID, we're in danger of forgetting how dangerous this disease still is. And although we have high vaccination rates here in Montgomery County, we have to remain careful. This is why we continue to provide free in-home test kits at our libraries and other locations around the county. All you have to do is stop by and pick them up. These tests are important because they allow you to test yourself so that you and your loved ones know quickly if anyone is tested positive for COVID. It's the most important step you can take, along with staying up to date on your vaccines and boosters. I'm glad to see that we've seen an uptick in our booster rates over the past month, as many of our residents have gotten the new bivalent booster. I would like to see these numbers increase, however, because as we move into fall, we're going to be more in close quarters, closer to each other, and hence more at risk. Supply for the vaccine is plentiful, and it can be found easily at local pharmacies as well as at the health department without appointments. And please remember that if you don't have health insurance, vaccines that you get from the county health department are free. Monkeypox, or MPX, continues to be a public health concern with more than 80 cases reported in Montgomery County so far. We continue to vaccinate at-risk individuals, and we've vaccinated more than 2,000 residents so far. Even as case levels level off, we still know it's important to get information out into the community, and that's why we're holding another virtual town hall on the subject, this time focused on the Black community, on Monday, October 10th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Please join us if you'd like to learn more about its impact on our community. This week, I had the opportunity to talk with several business leaders at the Maryland Life Science Conference. We've had a lot of great updates in this sector, including more than 3 million square feet of lab space currently in development across the county. We're proud to share that our region was recently ranked second in the nation by commercial real estate consultant CRBE for its pool of life sciences talent. We hope these conversations lead to new partnerships and development. And speaking of partnerships, an exciting new partnership was announced this week between Montgomery College and Hughes Network Systems. Hughes is headquartered in Germantown and focuses on helping the federal government and business develop strong digital networks. On Monday, leaders from Hughes and Montgomery College broke ground on a new building that will produce satellite broadband and networking equipment. The facility will be a hub for Montgomery College students looking for a career in high-tech manufacturing. This project would not be at the early stages of completion that it is now without the work of Minkoff Development in South Duval, who signed the lease with Hughes to build the 140,000 square foot facility. This will be a wonderful addition to the Pinckney Innovation Complex for Science and Technology at Montgomery College. I look forward to opening the new facility and seeing Hughes continue its more than 50 years of success here in Montgomery County. All that said, I hope you have a great week and see you again next week.